What message did you mostly hear? What were they actually chanting for?
Freedom. I mean, they were chanting for I think it was the CBC, more state-funded propaganda, who said the freedom has become the rallying call of the far right. Very ironic, because my last name, Freiheit, literally means freedom. So they're calling me. It was freedom. It was, we want to see faces. We want our kids to have a normal life. I mean, I was seeing kids there who said the years of their life have been miserable. I interviewed a woman.
So they were against the lockdowns?
They were against the lockdowns, the mandates, and basically the government overreach.
And the forced vaccination.
It started off as the vaccine mandates, because that was what pushed the truckers really to move. But it was all the mandates. I mean, I interviewed a woman who she lost 2 kids during the lockdown to overdose. She was broken, like just physically broken. You could look at her. There's no unbreaking or healing of that type of trauma. She's sitting there with the image of her kid on her car, and she says, "I'm not leaving. They'll arrest me, cuff me, take me away." And what do those? Can't swear too much. I have to stop. What do those coward politicians do? Justin Trudeau doesn't take 1 second to come down to talk to anybody. Jagmeet Singh, who's the leader of the NDP, he came down when there was a recent protest, says, "I'm on Parliament Hill, I'm talking to the protesters, we're going to take our labor dispute to the government." It's like, well, where the hell were you when a woman was mourning the loss of her 2 kids from overdose because of your lockdown policies? So they didn't talk to them for 1 second. They were hoping, and Trudeau, and we now know because of the commission, was hoping for a January 6th moment, which never happened. There was not one shred of violence until Trudeau sicked his militarized police on the crowd, physically assaulted veterans, arrested a bunch of people, invoked the War Measures Act, which is now the Emergencies Act, to violently suppress the most peaceful protest ever, because it was infrastructure threats and causing economic damage to the country. He was complaining that the protest was causing economic damage to the country after he had spent 2 years locking down the country.
Unbelievable.
It was 3 weeks in Ottawa. Ottawa's business is the government. It's not like they weren't going around like breaking windows of people's homes. They were protesting in the 4 blocks on Parliament Hill.